All right, so this has happened. Another Fordson wreck kind of fell into my lap. A gentleman that came to look at some of my parts and tractors found this with the parts he needed, and he offered me the rest of the tractor for $500. Slightly better, well, not slightly better, but different condition to the other one. It's obviously not burnt, but we do have some other problems. So we'll go through for a bit of a tour. Now, I have got it to turn over, but we did lose a lot of oil, so I'm thinking the rings aren't that good. Now, when I got it, it was seized. There was about 3 inches of water in the number 4 cylinder. Freed it up, cleaned it up, got it turning, new head gasket. I actually put a new head on it. Redid it all up. But let's have the grand tour. So, radiator's not too bad, is holding water. However, I do have a substantial leak out of the water pump. Wiring was shot to bits. However, I managed to jury rig up the starter through this push button solenoid. That's it going. Now, obviously, to engage the flywheel on the starter, you have to push this forward. Now, unfortunately, the contacts aren't working and the wire is gone. So it's a bit of a two-stage process. Push it in to push the gear into place on the main ring gear, and then I press the button and it fires. Also got a crack in the manifold there. Everything else on the engine wasn't too bad on this side of things. However, here's my main problem. This tractor came to me with no steering assembly or fuel tank, and I was left open to the elements for a long time out in western New South Wales, Australia, where it's got that red dirt. So unfortunately, there was absolutely no oil in there. Everything's completely seized. There's nothing running free. I couldn't even get it to come free dragging it with my other tractor. Going through, again, we've still got our key start, but not much else on the dash. Ruined seats. Guards not too bad. Rear tyres. That one holds air for a bit, then loses. That one's gone. This came with a raised PTO that the gentleman took as the parts he needed. Rest of hydraulics are there. Coming around this side, again you can see the head. There's some rusty injectors, and the other side's not great. And then over to this side. So, fuel system, obviously no fuel tank. That line was full of dust. I put a new fuel pump on it. This, and I'm keeping that damp, covered in oil and diesel because that's asbestos. Had a pretty significant leak in here to the point that I wasn't getting any continuity of fuel to the injector pump, and I was having to constantly bleed, and only lasts for about 15 seconds or so. So not ideal. So what I've done is I've jury rigged up a small tank, direct fuel line, bypassing all the fuel filters into the injector pump, and hopefully we get a bit of longevity out of it. I know it's going to spit oil. I'm hoping that with a bit of heat the rings might free up, and we'll see how we go. But watch the process. We'll see if we can get this old beast running. Now, I'm thinking with the gearbox in the state it is, and a fair bit of rot in the back of the tractor, I might be able to turn 2 tractors into one with this one, but we'll wait and see how I go with the engine. Again, came to me in a right state. Might be better to try and make good tractors out of the good parts on this, but never say never with a Fordson. There's my temporary crank start, just to try and get it turning over when it was seized, and we'll see how we go. Not too bad. Work in progress.